Welcome to SMC TV's Man on the Street. I'm your host, Warren Watson. On this episode, we'll be discussing stress. Now, we all feel stress at times, and it doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, an auto mechanic, a stay-at-home mom, or a student. But what really is stress? How do you define that? Well, we took our cameras to the streets of Washington, D.C. to find out.
Stress is kind of like a little anxiety that your body's going through when you're kind of like switching back and forth. You don't know what you want here. It's coming good here. It can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing.
Stress is the feeling that something's crushing inside of you that you can't exactly identify, but it's affecting your body in all different kinds of ways. Everything from stomach to nerves to headaches, tough feelings breathing.
Oh man, stress is, I think, when you're pulled in a lot of different directions and it makes you feel tired and exhausted. You feel like you have too much on your plate.
Stress is when you're under a lot of pressure to perform.
For me, stress is the ability to not be able to cope with whatever struggle you're going through.
Stress is not being able to sleep at night because I'm too worried.
Okay, those were some interesting answers, but how does that compare to what research says? Here to help us with that is Kevin Crowley of the Stress Management Center, and he's going to help us to define what stress is. Kevin?
Thanks, Warren. You were right. Those were some excellent answers. You know, generally, we all know what it's like to feel stressed or feel overwhelmed, but actually figuring out what stress is a little bit tougher. At the Stress Management Center, we use a definition that I think is easy to connect with our life experiences. So we feel stressed when we think that we can't cope with something that we're dealing with or things that we're dealing with. I'm sure you picked up on the things I wanted to emphasize: think and cope. Sometimes the same situation is stressful for one person and not another person. One of the reasons for this is the thoughts we bring into the situation. So consider this for a minute. Let's say it's the end of the day. You're ready to leave work. You're really excited for everything you have lined up, and your boss brings you this task that you were not expecting. Definitely not part of the plan. How do you think you'd feel if you automatically started thinking, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get this done. I can't believe my boss would do this to me. There's no way this is going to get done in time and I'm going to get where I need to go. Now, let's say you started thinking, you know what? Not a big deal. I can figure this out. I can make sure this happens. This actually is kind of a nice opportunity for me to give this thing a try. See the difference? The way we think and the way we approach a situation makes a big difference into whether or not it becomes stressful for us. Now, on the flip side, if we can also bolster the ways that we cope or deal with stress when it gets to that point, all of a sudden, we're in a completely different place. Back to you, Warren.
Well, there you have it. We feel stress when we think that we can't cope with the situation that we're dealing with. So if we change the way that we think or the way that we cope, we'll be able to manage our stress more effectively. Check out our other videos or contact the Stress Management Center at 202-659-4121 or email Kevin Crowley at the email address below. For SMC TV's Man on the Street, I'm Warren Watson. Thanks for watching.